Hello, dear listeners. Are you afraid of being alone? Do you feel incomplete without a relationship? Do you always want someone by your side? If yes, then this audio is exactly for you. Because today we will learn how to turn loneliness not into weakness, but into a source of strength. Today we will deeply analyze Renuka Gavrani's book, The Art of Being Alone. Renuka is a writer, podcaster, and personal development expert who has impacted millions of lives. In this audio you will learn the important difference between loneliness and abandonment. You will learn 7 practical ways of self-love. You will discover ways to be happy without depending on others. You will get practical exercises and strategies you can apply daily. You will gain 10 key conclusions that can change your life if you have recently gone through a breakup, think you always need to be in a relationship, or cannot be at peace with yourself. This audio will help you turn loneliness into your strength, achieve inner peace, and prepare to build healthy relationships. First, we will examine the psychology of loneliness, then the principles of self-love, then practical exercises, and finally the key conclusions that can change your life. Let's begin. 2 types of loneliness. Let's start with the most important thing. Loneliness and abandonment are not the same thing. Many people confuse these 2 concepts and therefore suffer. Loneliness, in English loneliness, is a negative state. This is when you feel abandoned, unwanted, empty inside. You are surrounded by people, but you feel alone. This is a painful feeling that drains your energy. Solitude, in English solitude, is a positive, chosen state. This is when you consciously choose to be alone to rest, think, or recharge. This is a healing state that gives you strength. The main problem is that many people cannot distinguish between these 2. They think any moment alone is loneliness, and therefore constantly seek someone's company. But in reality, quality solitude is necessary for your mental health. Why do we fear loneliness? There are several deep reasons. First, from childhood we are taught that being alone is bad. Parents worry when a child plays alone. Teachers encourage group work. Society considers single people strange. These stereotypes are deeply embedded in our subconscious. Second, being alone with ourselves forces us to confront our inner demons, fears, insecurities, unresolved problems. It's easier to drown them out with someone else's presence than to face them. Psychological aspects. Why do we always want to be with people? The answer lies in our psychology. Humans are social beings, yes, but this doesn't mean we should always be surrounded by others. Many people try to fill their inner emptiness with others. Imagine a person with a hole in their soul. Instead of healing this hole, they try to fill it with relationships, friends, attention. But this never works. The hole remains, and the person constantly needs new fillers. The relationship with yourself is the most important relationship in your life. Think about it. You spend 24 hours a day with yourself. If you can't be at peace with yourself, how can you be at peace with others? Your inner dialogue shapes you. If you constantly criticize yourself, think I'm not good enough, I need someone to be complete, your life will be hell. But if you learn to talk to yourself with love and respect, everything changes. Social pressure and expectations. Why are you alone? This question and social pressure. Society has created a stereotype that being single is a problem that needs to be solved. There are stereotypes about people without relationships. They're called lonely, strange, those who couldn't find anyone. This creates enormous pressure, especially on young people. You need someone to be complete is a myth. Hollywood movies, romantic novels, social media, everywhere we are shown that happiness is only possible in a pair. This is a lie. You are already complete, you don't need a half. The influence of media and movies on romantic relationships is enormous. We've seen thousands of stories where the hero finds his love and becomes happy. But no one shows what happens after happily ever after. No one talks about the work that relationships require. Roots of fear of loneliness. The influence of childhood experiences is key. If as a child you felt abandoned, unloved, or attention deprived, as an adult you will fear being alone. These wounds need to be healed, not covered up with relationships. The problem of self-rejection. Many people don't accept themselves, their appearance, character, past mistakes. And if you don't accept yourself, how can you be with yourself? Low self-esteem makes you think you need someone's validation. If someone loves me, it means I'm worthy. But this is a trap. Your worth doesn't depend on someone else's opinion. The need for others' validation is an addiction. You constantly check social media, seek compliments, do things to impress others. This is exhausting and never satisfies you. Basic principles of self-love. Learning to be alone is the first step of self-love. If you can't spend time with yourself without discomfort, you can't truly love yourself. The difference between self-love and selfishness. Many people think self-love is selfishness, but this is wrong. Selfishness is when you only think about yourself and don't care about others. Self-love is when you take care of yourself so you can give to others from a full cup, not an empty one. Putting your needs first. This doesn't mean ignoring others. This means understanding that if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone. Like in an airplane, first put on your oxygen mask, then help others. You are enough is a concept that changes lives. You don't need someone to complete you. You're not a half looking for another half. You're already whole. Relationships should add to your life, not create it. Problem of dependency on relationships. Codependency, excessive mutual dependence, signs. If you can't make decisions without your partner, if your mood depends entirely on them, if you've lost your identity in the relationship, this is codependency. It's toxic and destroys both people. Looking for a half vs being whole. When you look for a half, you're saying, I'm incomplete without someone. This makes you desperate, clingy, and unattractive. But when you're whole, you attract healthy relationships because you're choosing, not needing. Relationships shouldn't save you, they should complement you. A healthy relationship is when two whole people come together to make each other's lives better. Not when two broken people cling to each other hoping to fix each other. The danger of entering a relationship while empty. If you enter a relationship with unhealed wounds, low self-esteem, and dependency, you'll project all this onto your partner. The relationship will become toxic, and when it ends, you'll be even more broken than before. Achieving inner peace, meditation and mindfulness practices. Even 5 minutes a day of sitting in silence, observing your breath, can radically change your relationship with yourself. Meditation teaches you to be present, not run from yourself. Journaling, conversing with your thoughts. Write every morning or evening. Write about your fears, dreams, feelings. This helps you understand yourself, see patterns, and process emotions. Understanding and accepting your emotions. Don't suppress your feelings. If you're sad, be sad. If you're angry, acknowledge it. Emotions are messengers, not enemies. Learn to listen to them. Learning to enjoy silence and loneliness. Turn off your phone, sit in silence, don't seek entertainment. At first it will be uncomfortable, but gradually you'll discover that peace isn't in noise, but in silence. Building independence. Emotional independence, not depending on others' opinions. Your value doesn't depend on whether someone likes you or not. If someone doesn't accept you, that's their problem, not yours. Financial independence, standing on your own feet. This gives you the freedom to not stay in toxic relationships because of money, not tolerate bad treatment because you're financially dependent. Trusting your own voice in decision-making. Don't constantly ask others for advice. Learn to listen to your intuition. Of course, consult, but the final decision should be yours. Developing the feeling, I am enough. Every morning look in the mirror and say, I am enough. I am worthy. I am whole. At first it will feel awkward, but over time you'll believe it. Mid-video call to action, 15 seconds. If this content is helpful to you, please like this video. It's a huge help to me. Subscribe for new book analyses. Write your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue. Enjoying your own company. Eating alone, traveling alone, going to movies alone. At first these might seem scary or awkward, but this is how you learn not to depend on others for entertainment. Imagine sitting in a nice cafe, drinking coffee, watching people. You're not waiting for someone, you're not scrolling through your phone, you're just present. This is bliss. Traveling alone is one of the most liberating experiences. You go where you want, eat when you're hungry, see what interests you. No compromises, no conflicts. Going to movies alone. Many people can't imagine this. What will people think? But the truth is, no one cares. Everyone is focused on the movie, not you. Developing hobbies and interests. When you're alone, you have time to discover what you really love, not what your friends or partner like. Feeling your time is valuable. Your time alone isn't wasted time or time you re-force to spend alone. It's precious time for self-investment. Date with yourself concept. Schedule dates with yourself as you would with someone important. Go to a nice restaurant, buy yourself flowers, treat yourself. Show yourself that you're worthy of love and attention. Enriching your inner world. Reading books and learning. When was the last time you read a book just because you wanted to? Not for work, not for study, but for pleasure? Reading enriches your inner world, expands your horizons, makes you a more interesting person. Developing creativity, writing, drawing, music. Maybe you've always wanted to draw but never had time. Or write poetry. Or learn guitar. Now is the time. Discovering your own interests. When you're always with someone, you often follow their interests. But now you can ask yourself, what do I really like? What makes me come alive? The path of personal growth and development. Invest in yourself, take courses, learn new skills, develop. This is the best investment you'll ever make. Quality alone time, digital detox, temporarily disconnecting from technology. Turn off your phone for a few hours. Don't check social media, don't respond to messages. At first you'll feel anxious, but then, liberation. Spending time in nature and understanding yourself. Nature has an amazing ability to calm the mind. Walk in the forest, sit by the water, watch the sunset. In these moments you can hear your inner voice. Creating morning, evening rituals. For example, every morning, wake up, meditate for 5 minutes, write in a journal, drink tea in silence. These rituals anchor you, give structure, create sacred alone time. Times for reflection and self-analysis. Once a week sit down and ask yourself, how do I feel? What's working in my life? What isn't? What do I need? These conversations with yourself are invaluable. Re-evaluating relationships. Quality versus quantity. Few but genuine friends. It is better to have 2 to 3 friends who truly understand you than 100 acquaintances you see and be real with. The courage to cut toxic relationships. Some people drain your energy, criticize you, don't support you. It's okay to distance yourself from them, even if you've known them for years. Loneliness is better than being with bad people. Really, better to be alone and at peace than in company and miserable. The importance of setting boundaries. Learn to say no. Learn to protect your time, energy, and emotional space. This is not selfishness, this is self-respect. Daily practices. 5-minute silent meditation. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, close your eyes, focus on your breath. When thoughts come, and they will, just notice them and return to your breath. Do this every day. Gratitude journaling. Every evening write 3 things you're grateful for. This trains your brain to notice the good, not just the problems. Planning solo activities. In your calendar, mark time just for yourself. Go to a museum, take a walk, sit in a cafe, alone. Make this a regular practice. Identifying and meeting your needs. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? Rest, movement, creativity, communication. And then give yourself what you need. Working with mental blocks. Eliminating the fear I'll die alone. This is one of the most common fears. But the truth is, everyone dies alone. Even if you're married with kids, you die alone. So this fear doesn't make sense. What matters is not whether you have someone when you die, but whether you lived fully. Fighting the thought everyone's in couples, only I'm alone. This is cognitive distortion. First, not everyone is in couples. Second, being in a couple doesn't mean being happy. You only see the facade, not what's happening inside relationships. Overcoming FOMO, fear of missing out. Social media creates the illusion that everyone's having an amazing time except you. But this is an illusion. People only share the best moments, not everyday life. Reducing the need for validation. Stop constantly checking how many likes you got, what people wrote. Your worth doesn't depend on this. You don't need external validation if you have internal validation. Strengthening self-confidence. Positive affirmations. Every morning say, I love and accept myself. I am enough. I am worthy of love and respect. I am whole. It might seem silly, but it works. Celebrating small victories. Finished a project? Treat yourself. Went to a cafe alone for the first time? Celebrate. Stood up for yourself? Acknowledge it. Don't wait for big victories. Recognizing your strengths. Write a list of your strengths. What are you good at? What do people appreciate in you? What do you appreciate in yourself? Read this list when you doubt yourself. accepting the mantra, I am enough for myself. This is the foundation of everything. When you truly believe this, your life changes. You stop seeking, start choosing. You stop needing, start wanting. Building healthy relationships, entering a relationship as a whole person. When you're whole, you're not looking for someone to complete you. You're looking for someone to share your wholeness with. Partnership versus neediness. Partnership is when two people choose to be together. Neediness is when someone can't survive without the other. Partnership is healthy. Neediness is toxic. Loving without losing your identity. In a healthy relationship, you remain yourself. You have your interests, friends, time. You don't dissolve into your partner. Being independent while also being close. This is the balance. You can be very close to someone while maintaining your independence. In fact, independence makes intimacy deeper because you're choosing to be close, not forced by need. Renuka Gavrani's writing style, openly sharing personal stories and experiences. Renuka doesn't write as an expert looking down on you. She writes as someone who's been through this, struggled, made mistakes, and learned. This makes her writing authentic and relatable. Simple, understandable language and sincere approach. She doesn't use complex psychological terms. She speaks the language of regular people. You feel like you're talking to a friend, not reading a textbook. Harmony of philosophical ideas and practical exercises. She doesn't just philosophize. Every idea is followed by here's what you can do today. This makes the book practical, not just inspirational. Motivational but realistic tone. She doesn't promise that everything will be perfect if you learn to be alone. She's honest about the difficulties, but also inspiring about the possibilities. Strengths of the book. Looking at loneliness without stigma. In most books, loneliness is presented as a problem to be solved. Renuka presents it as a gift to be received. Practical exercises and daily strategies. Every chapter has concrete actions you can take. This isn't abstract philosophy. You can trust the authenticity of the author's experience. You feel Renuka really lived through this, not just read about it in other books. Successful approach to self-love. She doesn't make self-love seem narcissistic or selfish. She shows it as necessary and healthy. Language appropriate for Millennial and Gen Z generations. She speaks in the language of today's young people, uses modern examples, understands their challenges. Weaknesses and criticisms of the book. Sometimes overly simplified explanations. Some topics deserve deeper exploration but are covered superficially. Superficial approach to deep psychological problems. If you have serious trauma or mental health issues, this book won't be enough. You need professional help. Cannot replace professional therapy. This is important to understand. The book is great for general guidance but not treatment. Some advice is too general. Sometimes it's like just love yourself without enough detail on how exactly to do it. Limited cultural context, mostly Western. The book is written from a Western perspective, which may not fully apply to all cultures. WHO it's suitable for people facing breakup or loss. If you're going through heartbreak, this book can be a healing companion. People excessively dependent on relationships. If you can't be alone even for an hour, you need this book. People wanting to learn self-love. If you're your own worst critic, this will help. People afraid of loneliness. If the thought of being alone terrifies you, this will change your perspective. Young people aged 20 to 30 seeking independence. This is a crucial age for learning these skills. People with codependency issues. If you lose yourself in relationships, this is your guide back to yourself. Comparison with other books. The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown is about accepting your imperfections and being vulnerable. It pairs well with The Art of Being Alone. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero is more about confidence and going after what you want. More energetic and aggressive in tone. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle is more spiritual and philosophical. If Renuka's book is practical, Tolle's is meditative. Daring Greatly by Brené Brown is about courage and vulnerability in relationships. Great follow-up after learning to be alone. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert is about creativity and living authentically. Beautiful complement to being alone because creativity flourishes in solitude. Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes is deeper, more mythological, more feminine. For those ready for something more profound. Top 10 key conclusions. 1. Loneliness and abandonment are not the same thing. One is chosen peace, the other is painful isolation. Learn to distinguish them. 2. You can't expect others to love you without loving yourself. Self-love isn't selfish, it's necessary. Like putting on your oxygen mask first. 3. Relationships shouldn't save you, they should complement you. Enter relationships as a whole person, not looking for someone to complete you. 4. Learning to be alone is the most important skill. In modern world of constant connection, ability to be alone is a superpower. 5. Independence is the most valuable asset. More valuable than any relationship, any possession. Freedom is priceless. 6. Don't depend on others' validation. Your worth isn't determined by likes, compliments, or someone choosing you. You determine your worth. 7. Learn to enjoy your own company. If you can't enjoy being with yourself, how can anyone else enjoy being with you? 8. Quality alone time is necessary. Not negotiable. Not luxury. Necessary for mental health. 9. Setting boundaries is a sign of self-love. Saying no, protecting your time and energy. This isn't mean, this is healthy. 10. If you're whole, relationships are a bonus, not a necessity. This changes everything. You stop desperate seeking and start consciously choosing. Practical steps. First, spend 10 to 15 minutes alone with yourself every day. No phone, no distractions. Just you. Second, engage in some solo activity. Go to a cafe alone, see a movie alone, take a walk alone. Make this regular. Third, start journaling. Write your feelings, thoughts, fears, dreams. This is a conversation with yourself. Fourth, be ready to cut toxic relationships. Not everyone deserves a place in your life. Protect your peace. Fifth, develop your interests. What did you always want to do but never had time? Do it now. Sixth, start meditation or mindfulness practice. Even 5 minutes a day changes everything. Seventh, repeat the affirmation, I am enough, every day. Say it until you believe it. How to use the book. Read each chapter and immediately put it into practice. Don't just read and move on. Read, apply, reflect, then move to the next chapter. Reread it like a journal. This isn't a book you read once and forget. Return to it regularly. Refer to it for motivation during difficult times. When you feel weak, lonely, not enough, open the book. Discuss with your friends. Share ideas. Hear their perspectives. Learning together is more powerful. Use it to keep a personal growth journal. As you read, write how each idea applies to your life. Similar book recommendations. The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm is a classic about what love really is. Philosophical but profound. Attached by Emile Levine and Rachel Heller explains attachment styles in relationships. Helps understand your patterns. Set boundaries. Find Peace by Nedra Glover Tawwab is all about boundaries. Practical and direct. How to Be Alone by Lane Moore is funny, honest, raw about being alone in modern world. Party of One by Anneli Rufus celebrates introversion and solitude. 4 Natural Loners. Solitude by Anthony Storr is academic but accessible exploration of value of being alone. Final thoughts. Loneliness is your strength, not your weakness. The sooner you understand this, the freer you become. Being in a good relationship with yourself is the most important skill. Everything else follows from this. You are enough. Right now, as you are enough. Not when you lose weight, find someone, achieve something. Now, relationships should complement you, not create you. You're not half a person. You're complete. Enjoying being alone is a sign of freedom. Free people can be alone. Dependent people can't. This is the message of The Art of Being Alone. You already have everything you need within you. If you found this analysis helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more book analyses. Next video will be analysis of The Gifts of Imperfection or Attached. Let me know in the comments which you do prefer. Discussion questions for comments. Are you afraid of loneliness or do you enjoy it? What's your biggest challenge in self-love? Which exercise from this book was most helpful for you? Thank you for listening. Remember, you are enough. You always have been. Until next time.